Will Diablo 4 become your next unhealthy obsession? That's what we're trying to find out today. We're going to be watching that video title from Koban. He's a very small YouTuber, 800 and about 900 subscribers right here. So if you guys like this video, make sure you check him out. He does a lot of gaming content. I've kind of perused through his channel a little bit before watching this video, but anyways, with that out of the way, let's get into it.
Up to that point, we've had 3 betas, and some of us will be getting early access. The demand
I will be getting early access.
Is astronomical, and that demand will not be letting up anytime soon. Everyone is going to play this game. Will everyone like it? That's a question for another day. But there is no debate that this game will be so addictive, it might just ruin your life. Let's dive into the
How will it be addictive? Hit me with it. I mean, I can already tell for me personally. I mean, there's so much nostalgia for me personally attached to Diablo. And I had a lot of fun playing Server Slam. I had a lot of fun. I can already see myself playing this game a lot. But let's see what the video has for us.
Why. Diablo 4 is very likely to become the most widely accessible ARPG ever made. It will also be the most heavily marketed ARPG ever made. And it will
I think so. I think yes to both of those questions. The game seems very beginner friendly, but also has like customization and more in-depth gameplay than like something like Diablo 3, which I thought was trash, super beginner friendly, but lacked so much depth on release, and which honestly just to me unfun. But yeah,
also
hard to agree so
made
far.
By a company that possesses one of the very few household names, Blizzard. Now, the Blizzard name has obviously taken a hit over the last couple of years.
Yeah, just yesterday, dog. I don't think that's a very good feather in your cap of your argument of it's made by Blizzard, therefore it's going to get a lot of love and attention. Oh my God.
In every way, it is deserved. But they are still one of the most iconic and successful developers in the industry. And to this day,
sure, 20 years ago,
they have massive fan bases across a wide range of their games. And as consumers, brand loyalty, or in this case, brand familiarity, is integral in the attraction of new products.
I said this about, I guess like the wider audience that aren't online people who don't online people who don't really pay attention to this stuff. They probably don't even know anything about all the Blizzard Overwatch drama, all that good stuff. Like all the Blizzard drama and then the Overwatch drama that just popped up. But I think most like sweaty gamers and people who are online, their patience is at its thinnest with Blizzard. Personally, I've already made this statement. I talked about it in the Overwatch video I did, but yeah, Diablo 4 is the final straw for me. And it's not like an emotional decision whether I won't be playing Blizzard products anymore. It's just I just don't trust the company with my time and money anymore.
With the release of
But if Diablo 4 hits, this is the final straw for me. If Diablo 4 is not good, which I'm sure it is going to be good, but if Diablo 4 doesn't get all the love and attention that it deserves as a live service game, then I will probably be done with Blizzard products and will not be hyped whenever they put something out. I'll probably just abstain from playing.
Diablo 4, Blizzard can rely on the pre-existing public consumption of their other games to bring traffic over to Diablo 4, rather than relying solely on selling Diablo 4 to new audiences.
I mean, I guess so, but I don't think that's really how that works. I think it's more so, I don't think there's like a huge brand loyalty with Blizzard specifically, with like World of Warcraft, Overwatch, and this sort of thing. I don't think because you play World of Warcraft, you're going to play Diablo. I think because you play because it's the same company, I think you're likely to play Diablo because it's a similar game genre. And this is just a big hyped game. But I do think like what he's talking about exists. For example, if you play Riot Games, which is a much more respected game company at the time, right now they have much better reputation in terms of the games they actually produce and maintaining their live service on their games. For example, I play a lot of Riot Games. I play a lot of Blizzard games as well. But I do actually have that brand loyalty a little bit to Riot. Whenever they put out a product, I trust that it's going to be top of their class. You know, Legends of Runeterra is probably the only little stinker in their thing, but I think the gameplay is not bad. It's just not as good as some of the other card games. From what I gathered, I don't really play card games, but like when Riot drops a title, I'm gonna try it out. You know what I mean? Because I actually trust them to make good games and maintain their live service because they do it with the games that I've played, League of Legends and TFT. Amazing games. You know, you can argue about how, if they're that fun to play because of the player base, but the games themselves are amazing and very well maintained on the live service.
If that wasn't enough, Blizzard have decided to make this one of the most casual-friendly ARPGs ever made, which, with the existence of an already strong and excited fan base, will easily bring over new players anyway. Which brings me to my first reason as to why this game will be so addictive.
Okay.
Popularity. When a game has a high popularity
for sure.
rating, even if that game is objectively bad, it is a strong indicator that the people playing that game are taking value from it. If you are then not interacting with a game that supposedly delivers value to players, then you are missing out. The fear of missing out is what drives player traffic to your game. That's why
I mean, this is true. This is true for sure. When a game is really popular, you want to try it out. That makes complete sense, but I don't know if I agree with everything he's talking about. Like, because a game is popular, it doesn't necessarily mean it's good. It just, there's a lot of hype, you know, and maybe there's some popular players who like the game. You know, that's not always true.
Content is always delivered in waves. Hypothetically, Blizzard could release...
I may be nitpicking his language a little bit too much.
...all the raids for WoW at once, for example, and let the player play them in the proper order. But by phasing the content out across a period of time, it builds anticipation. And when that new content releases, if you don't interact with it soon after its release, you feel like you have missed out. And usually, the intensity of that feeling will be higher than the gratification you feel after completing the content.
He's just essentially just talking about novelty. It's just because it's novel, but that's like, I don't see how that's a differentiating factor in Diablo versus any other game that's releasing.
Anyway,
look, I know you're not following what I'm saying anyway, right? That's okay.
I guess because Diablo is guaranteed to be popular, you know.
Is what people are playing, and mark my words, people will be playing Diablo 4. And
yeah, that's okay. I see his point though. Yeah, because Last Epoch. Sorry if I'm pausing too much. I'm trying to do some commentary, but the Last Epoch, yeah, even if Last Epoch is better than Diablo, way more people will be playing Diablo. But that's where I have the contentious where you said like because people are playing it, therefore it's good. Which maybe that's not exactly what he said, but that's how I interpreted that. Yeah, because Last Epoch could be better than Diablo, but Diablo is going to be way more popular, no matter what.
And they will continue playing it, or they will miss out on what? Seasonal content.
Yep.
And that's the second reason this game will become your next addiction. Seasonal content.
If they actually do it.
Practically promising us a high every season, but they are not obligated to deliver it. They could, but we have to play it to find out, don't we?
Please deliver it.
Are aiming to edge us all on a consistent basis. As Diablo...
Isn't that so sad that whenever you talk about Blizzard now, whenever you say, like, they say they're going to do it, but again, guys, we're going to have to wait. Like, you have to give them that caveat because the trust... That's what I'm talking about, the brand loyalty. That they have no trust with their community anymore. No one trusts them anymore. Maybe people who don't pay any attention, that are not online at all, but anybody who's online at all and pays any attention to Blizzard, their products, their promises, nobody trusts them anymore. That's very telling that this video has a very positive spin on Blizzard and that sort of thing. And even in this video that has a little bit more of a positive spin, even here, you're saying, well, they said it, but you know, we're gonna have to wait till we play it because we can't fucking trust these guys.
Diablo 4 is already part of a much beloved franchise. There is already built-in incentive to stay dedicated to the game in hopes that the grass is greener on the other side, and that hope is what is going to keep us addicted.
I don't think that's necessarily true. Who's playing Diablo 3? You know, who the fuck plays that game? I know there's people who play it, but I'm a huge Diablo fan. I played Diablo 3 and I played it casually for, I don't know, I maybe have like 40 hours played since its release. 40 hours since its release. That's nothing. I didn't even beat the game. I didn't care to beat the game. I just played it with my friends.
Content will ensure that the player base's opinion of
the game
will be time sensitive and refreshed constantly. The player base, as a result, will not be able to voice a uniform opinion about the game because they all have different tastes and desires. Therefore, some players will be satisfied and some will be disappointed. Let's talk about the gameplay itself. Diablo 4
I don't understand that point.
Will possibly be one of the most well-made ARPGs ever. The game's graphics are stunning, the gameplay itself is fast and punchy, and there is such a diverse lineup of enemies and playstyles for people to enjoy. The
gameplay so far has been clean, and the thing that I'm most excited about is the world bosses. It seems like there's actually a lot of stuff to do. Like, I mean, I've only played the first half of Act 1. Obviously, I played Server Slam. But the fact that there was a world boss there and there were dungeons everywhere, there was so much stuff to do. My biggest gripe with ARPGs and MMOs and that sort of thing is that there's nothing to do until you get to endgame. Like, there's just nothing to do. You just have to speedrun speedrun the story to get the end game, but there's actually like a lot of stuff to do along the way. So I've always talked about, I really like Phantasy Star universe back in the day. I know a lot of people don't really like Phantasy Star, but the thing I really liked about Phantasy Star and what I'm really liking about Diablo 4 so far is that right when you start the game, there's stuff to do with your friends. Like you play a short prologue, a very, very, very short prologue. And after the very short prologue, there's plenty of things to do in that world with your friends. You can already go up to dungeons with your boys, go to the world boss with your boys. Like that's something I really, really, really like about Diablo.
Even includes a subscribe button. How about that? All of these features are delivered in a package that is extremely friendly to a casual player base. And that right there is the third reason this game will be so addictive. Diablo 4, straight off the bat, will cater to a massive audience.
Yeah, my girlfriend's never played ARPGs. She's super into gaming. She's literally a game programmer, but she's never played she's really never played ARPGs. She plays a lot of RPGs, and immediately the game was really friendly to her. Like it was not, like she's never really worked with like skill trees and that sort of things with these type of games. You know, she has an RPG games with like The Witcher and stuff like that, but yeah, it was like super easy for her to jump right in.
Audience will be varied, dedicated, and opinionated. Part of that massive audience, a substantial part actually, will be casual. They will jump in and out of playing the game, and most of their judgments.
90% of the people playing this game will be casuals who learned about this game literally on like a YouTube ad or something, you know?
On the game will be reactionary and surface level. The true depths of this game's systems and gameplay will only be analyzed and critiqued by more hardcore players. Diablo 4 being a casual friendly game will inherently make it more addictive to a wider portion of consumers.
But one thing I want to say, and I know I'm pausing this a lot, just he's making a lot of points really fast. One thing I want to say about that is that I think gaming is so mainstream now that in a game that's this size, like people will be listening to people like Crip, people like Asmon, people like Riker, you know, big creators in this space. I think majority of people do listen to creators now and kind of go with the popular wave of online sentiment. I think that even majority of casual players, but that's not to say that if like all of those people don't like the game, that there won't still be like a big swell of casual players playing the game. There definitely will be. I see that point, but I think gaming is so mainstream now that you can't actually, a game can't actually escape if all of the like sweaty players don't like the game. I think that actually legitimately hurts their bottom line quite a bit if all the sweats don't like the game, even for a game like Diablo that is marketed to the masses. I think gaming is too mainstream now.
Path of Exile, for example, is an intensely addictive game, only once you understand the full scope of its endgame features and systems. For a casual player, Path of Exile is not addictive, as the hit of dopamine only comes with a significant time and effort investment.
You know what? I'm good. I don't fancy learning this.
Casual players...
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, that's why I can't play PoE. But, yeah, I don't know how that point... I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
For Diablo 4,
I'm getting a little lost in the sauce.
Have more avenues to succumb to addiction. The fundamental gameplay mechanics at all levels are objectively more interesting than Path of Exile. Coming home from work and wanting to wind down with a level 23 barbarian is a way more appealing and even rewarding prospect than grinding your way to endgame like most other ARPGs. As the endgame is the only interesting part of those other ARPGs.
This is exactly what I was talking about earlier. I'm really glad he's bringing up this point. That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. We're playing Server Slam. The biggest thing I noticed is that there was so much stuff to do. So much stuff to do. And obviously all the players were in that space, so there was a lot going on because we were all stuck in Act 1. But all the dungeon, there felt like there was so much stuff to do, where I feel like when I play a lot of ARPGs and especially MMOs, my God, there's nothing to do. You play for 30 hours until there's something to do. I can't stand that in games. I can't stand, you get into a game and there's nothing to do. You have to fucking play for 30 hours to find something to do. I hate that shit.
Diablo 4 fulfills a wider breadth of criteria for casual players. Moment-to-moment gameplay is more engaging, it is more visually pleasing, it is more narratively interesting, and above all, it is more intuitive and easier to grasp. When the promise of dopamine hits are therefore more accessible, that makes it inherently more tempting for a casual audience, and it is then effortless to become addicted. The fourth reason this game will be so addictive is because of the Blizzard infrastructure.
Damn, do you see his gear?
An extremely
Yo, he is geared out. He has legendaries in almost all of his slots. My God.
Because of the Blizzard infrastructure. Blizzard have had an extremely good track record of keeping games alive.
Huh?
Apparently not.
Yeah, what are you talking about? My God.
WoW is still going.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I like that he added this preface here because, yeah, I mean, WoW is still going, but it's definitely had its huge ups and downs. Huge ups and downs. And I think a lot of people just continue to play this game because they're invested into it with their time. You know, it's got gambler's fallacy. But I do. I mean, I don't like World of Warcraft. I don't like the gameplay. I don't really like it. But I mean, I don't play the game enough to like critique it, you know. But I think it's living off of nostalgia. I don't think the live service for World of Warcraft is pretty maintained from what I've heard and what I see from their release of their content. But Blizzard does not have a good track record of maintaining their games. Overwatch has never been maintained well. Never. Ever. I've played Overwatch for a long time. That game has never been well maintained.
Going incredibly strong, especially with
I don't know about Hearthstone and other stuff though.
Overwatch is still one of the most played first-person shooters out there, and even Hearthstone is immensely popular.
Yeah, because Blizzard makes good games. They just don't maintain them. They make good games only for them to slowly die over time because they don't maintain them well. Like, so that's why, like, it's like, I don't think this point is true at all. I don't think they maintain their games well at all. I think they just make good games and then they don't know how to maintain the live service.
Still. Once Blizzard
For the most
release
part.
a game, they invest most of their energy in ensuring its long-term success.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I guess because most of my experiences with Overwatch, maybe they do have like really good. I don't think so. I don't think they have a really good track record with WoW and Hearthstone though. I see people complain about it all the time. But my most experience with Blizzard is with Diablo and Overwatch is most of my personal experience. And Overwatch is so shit. It's so the maintenance of Overwatch is awful. It's awful. I've talked about it ad nauseum in so many videos. It's awful. I always compare them to Riot, and people give me flack for that. I don't understand why, because I feel like that's a really fair comparison. And from Riot and Blizzard, Riot maintains their games so much better. It's unbelievable. I play a lot of games from both of those companies, and it is so night and day difference.
You serious?
The way they do that is by investing a lot of their time and energy in receiving feedback from fans and acting upon that feedback to fix certain problems or enhance certain features to keep their fans attached to their games.
Definitely.
Now, you can debate whether they're good at this or not.
Now we know the answer to that, do we not?
But the point is, the infrastructure is there. The dialogue between fans and developers will be crucial in keeping the game alive. If you're addicted to a game, but then the game feels like it's on a downward trend, unless you have reason to believe it will get better, you are more likely to abandon that game.
Look, I think it's a bit of hopium. I really hope. I have a lot of hopium. I've been huffing the hopium. I am willing. I don't know. I want to trust Blizzard. I want so bad to trust them. I want so bad to trust these guys. I want to, but they've completely lost my trust with me and for the majority of the community. I want so bad. I was talking to my girlfriend about this. I really think Diablo is the last chance for Blizzard to recover their reputation with the greater gaming community, especially just like the online sweaty community as well. Really, I think this is their last shot before people really write them off. I mean, it's not like people won't continue to play some of their games and that they won't still be a pretty popular developer. But I think this is a point of no return if they can't deliver on Diablo 4 and the live service of Diablo 4.
So far, Blizzard have left no indication that they aren't invested in Diablo 4's future.
Thank you, Jesus!
Quite the opposite. If you become addicted to Diablo 4...
Yeah, that's what they said about Overwatch, though, this whole time. They're like, guys, we're doing it. We're working on this. We've been 4 years.
And you listen to developers saying it could get even better.
I have no trust.
Why would you abandon that addiction? That's like being addicted to heroin, but soon it'll come with a built-in blowjob. Crude as that may sound, it is...
By the way, and I just want to say real quick, I know I'm pausing a lot. Koban, the guy who made this video, he is just talking from the narrative of Diablo 4 will become your next and healthy addiction. It's not necessarily his opinions of, he doesn't necessarily, personally think these things, right? He's just going from that narrative point. So I just want to throw that out there because, this guy's an idiot. He's just talking from a narrative point to create a good video, you know?
It's not as crude as some particular Blizzard employees themselves, and they are now desperate as a result. Blizzard have always been invested in their games, but Diablo 4 may be the most critical release in their history.
Yes.
So there is more intention behind their investment. Their reputation is at an all-time low. Their fan support is at an all-time low. I'm sure that their own developers' confidence is at an all-time low. Diablo 4 needs to be a hit.
It has
and
to.
A big one. And it needs to retain a player base and keep them addicted. The only way to truly do that is to engage with the fans in the most transparent way possible. So far, the developers have done that extremely well,
I love
and they
it.
deserve to be commended for it. Multiple developer live streams, multiple public betas, interviews, inclusion of prominent content creators. It not only keeps your fans aware of the process, but keeps your community passionate. Opening that dialogue early and in-depth creates a line of communication that also allows for the freedom of critique. For the fans, this not only allows them to feel good about playing the game, but making the game the best it could possibly be alongside the developers. So you don't only get addicted to the game, but the improvement process of the game. So now we come to the fifth and final reason this game will be your next unhealthy addiction.
Hit me with it.
It's just gonna be a damn good game. Throughout practically all of the betas, Blizzard have been showered with universal praise.
Now, this is the thing that I am very confident about this. From what I've played and everything that seems so different from, because I did not like Diablo 3. Everything I've played and everything I've seen from this game, I am certain that the game will be a well-made game. It's just whether or not Blizzard will maintain the game is really the question for me. And this game is a live service game. Like this game is positioned for a long-term investment from Blizzard as a live service game. That is the part I'm struggling to trust Blizzard with. I trust them that this game is going to be good on release, as long as like the launch goes well and the servers hold up, which I think they will. Blizzard can make good games. They just have no idea how to maintain them.
All foundational aspects of the game,
Or the
Blizzard
shit
seem to
at
have
it.
a strong grasp on what players want and how they want it. With systems they don't want, the cash shop for example, they have integrated it in a way that, by first impressions, are not predatory to the game's integrity. There doesn't seem to be an outlying system that will harm the game. The atmosphere...
Yeah, there's no pay for power. Let's hope that is maintained. As long as payment is only for cosmetics, I'm good. I don't care if my character doesn't look cool. I don't give a shit.
Fear in Diablo 4 is phenomenal. The world is dark, bloody, and moody. The music is foreboding. The environments are immersive, beautiful, haunting. The graphics are stunning. The cutscenes, which I could talk about for days on end, are incredible. The fact that they include your character is insane.
That's
the
so
sound
cool.
design is wildly compelling. But the game...
That's so cool. That's something I thought I was really caught off guard, that like my druid that I created was talking was like talking in the cutscenes. That actually really threw me off when I watched. I was like, whoa, my character is talking in cutscenes. That's wild.
The core combat at the heart of it all is so much fun. All the classes feel great. Some are undertuned, some are overtuned.
It's fine. Druids rise up.
Not care.
Yeah, me neither. Druids rise up.
Ever be a consideration when it comes to determining fun. Some classes play like gods one week and a mere mortal the next.
I don't necessarily believe that. I think especially if you're a casual player where you're jumping into the game and you pick the druid class, which is the weakest class, and you're playing with your friends and you're just seeing that your friends are just running the dungeons and you are having trouble keeping up, that can definitely detract from your fun of the game, especially if you're a casual player who's not going to make it to that end game where you get to optimize your build and change it up. I do think that actually detracts a lot from the fun if the game is not... a game does not have good balance on the lower levels, at least decent balance. But I don't think the balance is that bad. I played Druid. I think there's a really fun werewolf build, and I was playing it. That makes the game pretty fun and makes you really mobile and stuff. But if you play some of these slower Druid builds, assuming they don't make any balance changes, I think that actually does hurt the fun in the game. If you want to have the Druid fantasy and you're like a really casual player, you jump in with your boys and they're playing like Necro and Sorcerer and they're just running the dungeons and you're just like just trying to keep up with them. I definitely think that can detract from fun for sure.
Next, the betas proved that, but the moment-to-moment gameplay, the skills, the effects, the feedback, it's just simply awesome.
It is great.
The only thing we haven't experienced so far is the end game. And sure, you could worry about that, but Blizzard won't. Blizzard, in some ways, practically invented the idea of endgame, or at least popularized it. People have been playing.
Sure, I always hate this point though. Like, but nobody ever is debating that Blizzard was the fucking GOAT 20 years ago. It's just now, man.
WoW endgame for almost 20 years at this point. They do not always get it right.
That is fair though, that they have been maintaining endgame for 20 years in a very popular title.
It's true.
It is
With
fair.
Diablo 4, they have to. If they get it wrong, it could prove disaster. But how could they? Diablo 4 isn't even out yet, and it's more popular than Path of Exile, Last Epoch, Grim Dawn. Blizzard are addicted to creating a positive future for Diablo 4. And guess what? You bought the more expensive version, so you
I bought the deluxe. I mean, guys, you gotta buy the deluxe. Look at this. Up to 4 days early access. What? I'm not gonna wait 4 days to play the game.
You could play it a few days earlier. Mate, you're already addicted, you stupid mother.
Anyways, shout out to Koban. Pretty good video. I enjoyed it a lot. Let's see what the comments say. Being my first Diablo experience, thoroughly enjoyed the beta. Nice. Well said. I only played the last beta. That's all I can think about. Yes. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. I'll just do my closing thoughts. Again, I trust Blizzard to make a good game, but I will have to see it to believe it if they can maintain the live service of this game at a high quality level. I want to believe, but they have to earn my trust back. Anyways, see ya.